In this video, using the UiPath App Studio, we are going to design a basic app. This app contains a login button. The moment you click on login, it opens up a demo application. It also enters the username and password and allows you to log in to the application. Let's learn how this simple app can be designed using UiPath App Studio. As you have understood the requirement, let me tell you how you are going to start your design. First, we will design the front end in the UiPath Studio, UiPath App Studio. Okay. Second, we are going to design the backend. The backend design will be done using UiPath Studio. Okay, UiPath Studio, where you design your processes, right? And third, we will do the linking in App Studio. Okay, so let's see how to start. Okay, the first one we will start front end UiPath App Studio. First, you log into cloud.uipath.com and then click on this apps. Okay, the square symbols. Then click on build a new app. Here I am going to give it a name. Let's say I will say login app, and then I will not select public app. I'm going to simply click on create. Okay, just by doing that, what happened? A login app. I'll select a blank page and hit on select. Okay, so if you go back to the studio, back in the studio, you will find login app got created. If you click on edit, you will be back to this page. Okay, so let's get started. Now the very first thing, I am going to add a button, a login button. Okay, so I'll use a button. Click on input. See how I am doing. I clicked on this add control. I clicked on input, and here is the button. I'm going to drag and drop the button to the main designer page. Okay, now in this one, I want the button to be there on the right hand side. I'll click on the style. I'm going to select this right hand side, and you can see the button has come. I would also like to change the name here. Here the name says button, right? So click on this button. It says button. I'm going to change into, let's say, login. Okay, and I wanted to use a icon. See, here is a hand symbol, right? If you click on this, the hand symbol goes. So ensure the hand symbol is on, and then I am clicking on this blank space. Clear? And I'm going to select one of the icon. Okay, I'm going to select this icon. Done. So the design has been done. If you hit on preview, this is how the window appears. But again, this is not yet functional. If I click on login, nothing will happen. Okay, because this is not functional. So right now we have completed the front end design. So I am marking it as done. Now let's start the backend design. Let's proceed to the second step, which is backend design in the UiPath Studio. Now for this, you would need the app download. Okay, I'm going to provide you the download link, which is this one, in the description of the video. So let me log in. You can use the description of the video where you will find this link. Now if you go to this link, you will find this demo application, which is from UiPath. It's not designed by me, it's designed by UiPath, and we are using this app for our practice purpose. Okay, so here you will find multiple different files. Okay, you don't have to download each single file. All you do in the demo app, click on this, and here you find download. Okay, from here you download. So what would happen? All the files that is there inside will get downloaded. Okay, give it a few seconds for it to download. You can see the file has been downloaded. Let me go to the folder. Okay, so this is the file which I have downloaded from the link. I'm going to right click on this and going to extract to this one. So unzip the zip file. Okay, so there I have got the application. Okay, demo app. So what I'm going to do, after you have unzipped, you find this demo app. If you get inside, you find all the supporting files. Okay, go one step back and I'm going to probably cut this file, and I am going to place it in a given location in my C drive, which is under C drive. I'm going to place it here. Okay, this is for a definitive purpose. Okay, why I'm doing this? So ensure you're downloading it to, you can put it in any other location, you can put it in documents or anywhere you like, but keep it under C drive. This becomes quite easy. Okay, so I've copied the demo app. Okay, look at this. This is only demo app, not the name having some numbers. Okay, when I went to downloads, you can see it has got some numbers. I don't want that. Rather, I went and cut the inside this one, the demo app was there. Okay, so let me go back to this PC, C drive, and the demo app has been copied. Now let's open this demo app. Okay, here you can see there are multiple different files, and one of the file is terminal emulator.exe. If you double click on this file, what happens is, this is the application. Okay, this is the application which will open up. Here it asks for a username and password. Where do you find the username and password? For the username and password, here you have something called terminal db. Okay, click on this Excel file, and inside that you have the password. This is how the Excel would look like. If you go to the system tab, here you have the username and the password. Okay, this you will be using. And in the products tab and in the customer tab, it's more like a database which the application is going to use. Okay, this is like a database for the application, and the application will be using this data for it to give you show up some data in the application. So this is the inside data. All these are designed by UiPath. Okay, I have downloaded this from UiPath Academy. So all these things are there. Okay, now here our main agenda is, how do I design the backend? Now for that, first of all, what we will do, let's open the app. Let's open the app and log in the username and password to understand how this app functions. Okay, so let me enter the username as admin, and let me enter the password 12345. So after you done with this, hit on enter, and then come here 12345 and hit enter. Okay, so if you do this properly, it should allow you to log in, and this is what you would find. Okay, again, there are so many other functionality we will get in the upcoming videos, but until now, this is what we want a process to be created in the UiPath Studio. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, because it is using a username and password, what we will do, we'll go to our orchestrator and create an asset. To create an asset, all you do, go to the orchestrator and click on the folder where you would like to deploy the process, right? The same folder, I am going to create an asset. I'll click on this assets tab, hit on the add asset. I'm doing it within the folder. You might be having a different folder. On that one, you have to do it. And here you have to click on create a new asset. Let's give it some name. Let me give as UiPath Bank Credentials, and the type of the asset will be Credential. Let's enter in manually the username, no double quotes, nothing required, and the password. Okay, 12345. Done, and nothing to do here. All I have to do is I will click on create. Okay, so the asset has been created. Now let's go back to the studio. The activity that you need to pull the values of the asset is nothing but your get credential asset, right? If you simply type get asset, you would find get credential. Drag and drop this activity. Okay, now here, if your UiPath Studio is already connected, if you see my studio, there's a green dot, and it is saying it is connected to IT folder. So wherever you would like to run your automation, I have already selected it. So now if you click on this, it tells you how many different folders you have on your orchestrator by default. Okay, so it is automatically pulling it. So I'm going to select IT, and the asset that you have in IT, so I have only one, so it is showing me that name, UiPath Bank Credentials. Quite simple, right? Quite easy. There's a lot of enhancement done in the new studio activities. Okay, once you have read it, right, the next thing that comes to our mind, does it really pull the values or not? So I'll use a message box, and for this activity, get credential activity, there are two outputs, username and password. So let's create a variable, username. Okay, let me create a variable and name it as password. Okay, so the two variables got created, username and password. Now if you look at the first variable, which is a string type, username, and the password is a secure string. Okay, now let's print the username, and let me use another message box below this, and here let's print the password. Okay, so now tell me whether this password variable will be printed, because it's a secure string. Okay, even though if you do a .to string, it's not going to work. For example, if you run this particular workflow, you can see it has pulled the username as admin, but for the password it is saying system.security.secure string. So you cannot print a secure string just in a message box. There has to be a bit of trick. I'm going to show you what is the trick. The trick is I'm going to write a simple expression here. Okay, what is the expression? New system.net.network credential. In this one I have created a video long back. You can see that how to work with a secure string. New system.net.network credentials, and in the bracket first I will look at this username and then password you have to write. So we don't have the username is already stored in a variable, so I will not ignore that. I'll put a comma, and the password, okay, the password is there in the variable password, so I'll use this variable password. Okay, and this is a secure string. Okay, this is a secure string. I want to convert this to a simple string, so here simply say dot, and there's a method called password. So this is going to pull the value, it is going to change that password secure credential to a string value. Password, hit on OK. All right, if I run this now, so you can see the value admin has appeared, and the password also appeared, 12345. Getting it? All right, this is just for your learning purpose, but we do not really need this message boxes. Okay, just to test we have done it. So let me delete it. Okay, delete. All right, after this what we want to open that exe file, right? The exe file is here, terminal emulator.exe. Now anytime you find such an application which has lot of dependencies, for example if you see .dll, there's a .fif, okay, so you cannot go about simply dragging and dropping the use application. Okay, use application browser. I'll show you what is the problem. If you drag and drop use application, and you are going to indicate to that application, right? So let me reopen this, terminal emulator.exe. Now if I go back to the studio, click on indicate application, and I'm going to indicate this particular app. If I do so, what would happen? It is going to pull all the different .exes there in demo app, C drive, so and so. It has pulled everything, but the moment you run it, it is going to throw an error. Okay, the moment you run it, it's going to throw an error. To see that, all I will do, you can just click on this. Okay, there is a button here just to test the execution. Open a new instance. See, unhandled exception. So it is throwing an error. In such a case, what you have to do, you remember in the command prompt, right? We used to use a command called cd, change directory. To open an application, you go to that directory and open that, right? The same thing you have to apply, the similar logic you have to apply using invoke method. Invoke method. Okay, and there is a method called set current directory. Okay, set current directory method. I'm going to show you that. Open the page from Microsoft. Okay, so here you have something called set current directory. This is the method. Now let's learn how to use that method in UiPath Studio. I'll show you, the problem what is there. It is going to get fixed. So here I'm going to select, I'll go for browse for types. Okay, like change directory, right? You don't have, this is how you have to do. So I'll go to system input output dot directory. Check SIS, right? Okay, directory. So this is the target type. This is the namespace. Okay, inside the namespace I'll be using the method. The method is nothing but set current directory, or a function, right? Method or a function. This function will do the job automatically. Now all you have to do is provide some input. So the input will be provided through the parameters property. Click on this. So you are telling, hey, this particular application, before you open, first what you do, you go to this specific directory. So how to go to this directory? You have to hit on shift, right click, select that, and right click, copy as path. So I'm saying, hey, this is the input for you, C drive demo app. Inside this, that application exists. So you have to first go to this specific folder or this specific directory. So it is saying set current directory. Getting it? The parameter we have provided, all done. Now if you open it, you will not get the similar error. Okay, let me run it, or let me debug it. Before that, let's close this. Let's also close the folder. Okay, everything I have closed. Okay, so what we will do, we are not able to see that. So before you run this, select close never. Okay, so that we can see that app. Save, run it. So you can see the application has opened without any error. The next thing we have to do, we have to enter the username and password. Okay, now to design this, we'll be using the type into activity. Type into activity, drag and drop the type into activity, and here first thing we will click on this indicate in app. Okay, so keep that app open in the background. Let me go to the folder. So click on indicate in app, and the app I have kept it in the background. So select this field and give it a few seconds, and then select the anchor, username, and confirm. Pretty simple. Okay, here type this. What would you like to type? You would like to type the username, right? So I will say username variable which contains a username, and after it does, I want to hit enter. Okay, so after this, click on this small inverted triangle and hit on enter. Okay, the moment you hit on enter, it will go to the next tab. For example, here if I'm typing it manually, admin, hit on enter, it goes to the next tab. Okay, fine. Then I'm using a type into. You can experiment with all these options. Okay, sometime it might fail if a wrong option is selected in a different application. So always experiment how it is working. Now the second one, I will use it for the password. Okay, password is the target. This is the anchor. Fine, and then I'm going to hit on confirm. Okay, done. Now this one requires a secure password, right? We don't want to show that password while it is typing. So I will use the secure string password. But remember, while you are using a secure string, this empty field before typing, okay, make it to none. It was giving some error in this application, and click before typing, say none, then it is going to work. Now here there's another problem. After username you had this option, right, to hit on enter, but this one after selecting secure, I'm not finding that option. Probably we can share a feedback with UiPath to have this option enabled so that I can select enter. Now for the time being, because it is not there, I'm going to use a keyboard until that comes in the next release probably, or maybe any other future release. Meanwhile, we will use a keyboard shortcut. Now in this one, click on this drop down and say add shortcut manually, and here I am simply selecting enter and hit on add. Okay, don't forget to hit on add. The moment you hit on add, that's where it comes. So enter. So what happened after typing the password is going to hit on enter. So now let's save it and let's close the app and let's debug this and see. Okay, so the application has opened. Okay, now it's supposed to enter the username. Okay, done. Password done, and it has hit on enter, and finally you can see I'm able to log into the application. Okay, you can see I'm able to log into the application. So what we have done till now, second stage we have completed, which is backend design. Now let's see the third stage, which is linking this one with the UiPath App Studio. Let's begin the third stage. So in the second stage, this was the output. What we will do, this entire package, we are going to upload it to Orchestrator. Okay, so let me hit on publish and give it some name. Okay, so I'll give it a name called login to UiPath bank app. Let's say login to UiPath bank app is the name. I'm going to hit on next. Orchestrator tenant process feed, yes, and then hit on next. Certificate is not required. I'm going to hit on publish. So just by doing that, what would happen, this entire package, right, this entire project will get uploaded to Orchestrator. Okay, so I have finally got a message saying the project has been published successfully. Let's go back to the Orchestrator, hit on tenant, and then hit on packages. Okay, here you can see the package has been uploaded. Let me go to the folder, IT folder, click on processes, and I'm going to create a process here by clicking on add process. Okay, now select the package. Okay, everything looks fine. Hit on next, and as we are using asset, so in the second stage package requirement, you can see the asset value has come. Okay, asset UiPath bank credential. Okay, fine, available. Next, display name, it will automatically come if you are not leaving it empty, so nothing to do here. I'm going to simply hit on create. Okay, so close it. Now you can see a process got created. The process got created. Once the process got created, no need to run from here. Okay, we are not running it from here. We will go to the App Studio. You know, right, how to go to the App Studio? You are clicking on this symbol. Okay, the moment you click on this symbol, it will automatically take you to the App Studio. Let me close that. So I am in the App Studio. I'll hit on this login app and I'm going to click on the first stage we have designed, right? Front end design we have done in the first one. So I am going to hit on this edit button, and now we will do our main purpose is to link. Okay, linking the App Studio with the process that we have created in the backend. So we are doing the front end and the backend linking. So highlight this button or click on this button. Click on events and click on create rule. Okay, create rule, and here you will find something called start a process. Click on start process. Click on this box. Okay, here it is completely blank, nothing is there. So click on the plus symbol. It is going to show you which tenant. So I'm going to select my tenant, and which folder. I'm going to select this IT folder, and this is the process. Okay, because there is no argument I have used, so it is completely blank. This is the process. Select this. Okay, this has to be a check mark, and then hit on add. Fine. So this way what happened, the process which we had created in the orchestrator now got linked with what? Linked with this particular process. Okay, let's go once again to the button. Okay, so once then you can see the process got added here, but again there's so many other things to be done. So click on this button once again, select event. See, if you click on this, it is different. Okay, you have to click on this button and then click on event. Remember, edit rule. So here we have added the process. So what we are going to do, the process is now available here in the App Studio. I'm going to select this process by coming again to the same place. I was expecting it to directly get added, but again I have to do it twice. I think that could be a feedback we can write our feedbacks here. Okay, if some improvements we need to see, we can write the feedback here. Alright, so once this is done, log into UiPath Bank app. This is the process name. Fine, it is going to run in the attended way, that is fine. When started, I want to use a spinner, and in the spinner I want to say processing. Okay, you have seen, right, when you hit on something, a spinner will go round and round, and so it's processing. Same thing I'm going to show here. When it is completed, I'll use the spinner, and I will say complete. I will, it'll stop. The spinner will stop. Done. You can do more designs like this, but I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to close it. So now the linking has been done. Okay, this is done. The third stage is also done. Now let's test it. For this, I'll go to preview. Okay, so the app is there, and you can see the login button. I'm going to hit on this login button. So you can see the spinner has come and saying processing. So whatever you write there, it is going to show that. So it is saying processing. Now you can see on my taskbar, this prompt has come, and now it is trying to log into the app. So now it is happening through this application. Okay, the application is initiating the process in the backend. Okay, now it's supposed to enter the admin and password. Great. So now you can really see how the application has logged in. Okay, the moment I hit on login, it actually logged into a desktop application. So how we have done the linking, there's a great amount of learning in this video, and you have learned how successfully we have logged in to a desktop application. This is one of the UiPath app use case, a very simple use case, but again a great amount of learnings are there for a beginner. So thank you guys for watching this. We are going to meet once again in our next content. Till then, take care. Bye bye.